A Avengers Doomsday trailer just leaked, and the quality is absolutely terrible. But here's the thing, that terrible quality might be the strongest argument that this footage is completely real. And today we're breaking down exactly why. Welcome to Jarvis Protocol. If you're new here, subscribe right now and hit that notification bell, because this kind of real-time analysis is exactly what we do here every single day. You cannot miss this. Let's get straight into it. The first thing that needs to be said is that this supposed trailer circulating online has genuinely awful visual quality. It looks like it was processed on a computer from the 1980s. But far from making it less interesting, that actually makes it significantly more interesting, and we're going to explain exactly why. Let's walk through what's actually in this footage. The first thing we see is Dr. Doom slamming his hand into the ground. You can clearly make out that he's crouched down, wearing silver armor. And beyond the armor, there is green magic visible in the scene, which is one of Dr. Doom's most iconic signatures in the comics. There is no way this is any other character. After that impact, we see energy flowing towards something large that's difficult to define clearly at first. And then we get a look at Dr. Doom's face, not a detail of the mask, but the eyes. The eyes of Robert Downey Jr. From there we start to understand where exactly that energy is flowing. Because a massive hand appears, rising upward. An enormous hand slowly moving into frame. And right after that, we see Thor lifting Steve Rogers, and the camera pulls back to reveal the full scene. This is incredibly consistent with some of the oldest rumors that have been circulating about this film. The visual of Steve Rogers in a black shirt, holding Mjolnir, the hammer he himself lifted. And Thor with short hair, exactly as he appeared in the official Avengers Doomsday teaser that screened in theaters before Avatar 3. The camera continues pulling back to reveal what Thor and Rogers are actually lifting. It's a giant robot, with glowing green eyes because it's being controlled by Dr. Doom's magic. And this is where everything connects back to the very first rumors about Avengers Doomsday. Many months ago, when set photos leaked from the location built to serve as Xavier's mansion, you could clearly see the mansion grounds completely destroyed, craters everywhere, and multiple giant robots lying fallen across the property. The Sentinels, the giant mutant hunting robots that already appear in the official teaser, with Cyclops facing off against them. What had been reported was that Dr. Doom, at a specific point in the story, would take control of those previously defeated Sentinels using his magic to reactivate them and send them back against the heroes. And that is exactly what we are watching here. Something that was described months and months ago is appearing right in front of our eyes. The Sentinels rising one by one. It is an absolutely epic moment. Now more characters start appearing in the scene. There's a blue character with white hair that has a lot of people confused. But this is almost certainly Nightcrawler, hence the blue coloring. The white hair has a straightforward explanation. Actor Alan Cumming, who played Nightcrawler in the original Fox X-Men films, has frequently adopted that white hair look in recent years. And in those original films, the character was already clearly not a teenager. He looked to be in his mid to late 30s. It makes complete sense to represent him as older here. And in fact, there were already previous alleged leaks stating that this would be his exact visual in the film. Another old rumor being confirmed by this leaked footage. Right behind Nightcrawler there's another identifiable character, and this is one of the details that most strongly reinforces the authenticity of this video. You can clearly see the 10 rings glowing on the character's arms. Shang-Chi is in this scene. And those rings with that specific glow pattern are a detail far too precise to be a coincidence, or a casual fabrication. Hit that like button right now if this is generating as much hype for you as it is for us. That one action tells the algorithm that this analysis deserves to reach more people. Let's keep going. Moving further through the scene, we can see Shang-Chi more clearly with Nightcrawler behind him. There's a silhouette that is almost certainly Dr. Doom himself, threatening, facing the assembled heroes as the robots rise around them. There's another character whose helmet shape strongly suggests Magneto, though in the interest of honesty, the quality here is so low that it's genuinely difficult to confirm completely. Next to him appears to be Cyclops. Also identifiable are Gambit, Mystique, and Sam Wilson's Captain America, who arrives from behind with wings on his back and lands alongside the group. Nightcrawler teleports in another character that can't be identified with complete certainty, possibly Storm, possibly Johnny Storm. And finally Reed Richards of the Fantastic Four comes into frame. The camera then reveals Thor with Stormbreaker and Rogers-era Captain America holding Mjolnir. And the camera begins rotating around the assembled group. This is exactly like that iconic scene from the Avengers in 2012, when all the heroes come together, and the camera circles around them in that rotating shot that Joss Whedon made famous. In comics terms, it's called a splash page, a double-page spread. Whedon did it in both of his Avengers films. And the Russo brothers, in a direct nod to that nostalgia, are replicating exactly that technique here for Doomsday. Seeing this fully finished in theaters at full quality is going to be one of the most epic moments in the entire history of the MCU. The footage then cuts to Cyclops firing his optic blasts at the Sentinels while the Sentinels fire back, launching blasts at the Avengers. A massive action sequence. An absolutely pivotal moment for this film. So, is this real or is it fake? Because what's clear is that this doesn't look like a conventional trailer. It looks like an actual scene. A render sequence from the film that ended up online. And there are two serious arguments on each side of that question. Arguments for it being fake. The first argument is that Disney has apparently not acted to take this material down. If footage this significant from the film had leaked online, the logical move would be for Disney and Marvel Studios to be aggressively pursuing every single person sharing it to get it removed immediately. Even at low quality, this would be an extremely serious leak. The fact that they haven't acted could be a signal that there's nothing real here to protect. The second argument is that with today's AI technology, it is entirely possible to produce ultra-realistic fake trailers. There are videos on YouTube generated by AI showing Doctor Doom destroying alternate versions of the heroes that look so convincing they could pass as actual film footage, sometimes even better than some of Marvel's real visual effects work. And the classic technique used by someone trying to pass off a fake video as a genuine leak is exactly this. Take all the existing old rumors, build something that confirms them, then artificially degrade the quality to make it look like clandestine footage. It's a known and effective method for deceiving audiences. Subscribe to Jarvis Protocol right now if you haven't already. We post Marvel Universe analysis every single day with real context and genuine depth. Hit that like button, activate that notification bell, and become part of this community. Every subscription and every like is what makes it possible for us to keep producing this level of content. The most important part of today's breakdown is coming right now. Arguments for it being real. The first argument connects directly to the marketing strategy Marvel has been using for Doomsday. Every teaser released in theaters was focused on a different cluster of characters, one featuring the Thunderbolts and the Fantastic Four, another centered on Thor, another on the X-Men. It's a completely different approach from anything Marvel had done previously. And it wouldn't be unreasonable to think they were preparing some kind of marketing material in a non-traditional format, something that didn't look like a conventional trailer, but sold the story of the film to audiences in a more direct way. And in a very real sense, this video produces exactly that feeling. It showcases the majority of characters we already know are in the film. If someone wasn't yet convinced to see Avengers, Doomsday, watching this scene would be enough to change their mind on the spot. It's more persuasive than any traditional trailer. The second argument is the most technical and the most compelling. Even through the terrible quality of this video, you can identify visual effects that are clearly unfinished. The first detail that makes this undeniable is precisely Shang-Chi and the 10 rings. The rings on his arm are excessively bright, almost like light bulbs, and they look nothing like the finished rings we saw in his own film. And in the moment the character appears, if you pause the video you can see what appears to be a physical device on the actor's arm. Something that is physically glowing. This has a very specific explanation for anyone familiar with how visual effects production actually works. On films where characters need to interact with luminous objects, like lightsabers in Star Wars, for example, actors during filming sometimes hold physical LED devices or glowing props that are later replaced digitally by the final object in post-production. What we're seeing on the actor's arm in this video could very easily be that physical onset device, which has not yet been replaced by the CGI 10 rings of the final version. There's another moment near the end of the sequence where the camera pulls back and we see two characters, Thor and another, who appear to glow in a very strange way, almost like CGI mannequins. Those specific details are not what would appear in a video generated by artificial intelligence. An AI would have generated the finished effects. What we are looking at are the incomplete effect markers that exist in the intermediate working versions that visual effects studios generate during production. And there's something else. In certain moments of the video, you can see overlay text that's difficult to read but in several frames appears to be a watermark, possibly an email address or a company name, which strongly suggests that this material was sent by a visual effects company to someone inside the production, directors, Marvel executives, for approval purposes. And it was never meant to be seen by anyone else. This connects directly to a very well-known precedent. Remember when the photo of Andrew Garfield leaked during Spider-Man: No Way Home and everyone debated whether it was real or fake? That leak came precisely from the visual effects companies that had been contracted to work on that film. The exact same pattern could be playing out here. And as for why Disney and Marvel haven't acted to take the video down, the answer may be simpler than it seems. Because they know it's practically impossible to fully erase something once it's already on the internet. Thousands of people have already copied and reshared the material. If Marvel came out aggressively trying to suppress it, they would essentially be confirming that the footage is authentic. In that situation, the smartest move may simply be to do nothing and let the low-quality video circulate without giving it official validation. The bottom line: this does not look like something generated by artificial intelligence. It looks like the work of a visual effects studio that produced an internal preview, a working cut, of a scene that is going to be absolutely crucial to this film. A version full of unfinished effects, sent for approval, complete with watermark. And someone with access to that material decided to leak it. So what do you think? Do you believe this is real, or is it an elaborate AI production? Drop it in the comments. We genuinely want to read every single take. This is exactly the kind of debate that makes this community something special. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, hit that like button right now. Every like helps us keep growing and reach more people who love this universe as much as we do. And if you're still not following Jarvis Protocol, there is absolutely no reason to wait. Subscribe right now, hit that notification bell, and join the community. We post Marvel Universe analysis every single day, and you don't want to miss what's coming next. There are more videos on screen right now. Go watch one. Thanks for being here. As always, absolutely phenomenal. This is Jarvis Protocol, signing out.